Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be doing a bird with Megumin. I do also plan to do another one with Aqua in this exact same video. We're doing an auto team for both goddesses and humans. We're going to go for basically as full DPS as we can possibly go for on these teams, just because I want to see how quickly can you do it on auto. So this team, we'll go over gear because you've got Megumin. Who is running attack crit. We got attack crit Lance. We have HP defense Char because she doesn't even really need attack crit. And then attack crit Masno. Char's can provide a lot of basic stats. He's got a lot of defense related stats. Megumin's can provide 20% basic stats. Of course, sadly, her ultimate will screw her over, but that's just sadly how it's going to be. And then, of course, we got the 15% attack related stat boost. Everyone is the same race, and everyone will be the same race. So we'll get that attack related stat boost. Anyway, let's get on with it. Here we go. I switched a few links around. I gave Roxy a link to Lance, and then I gave Sari a link to Char. But apart from that, the links didn't really change. I just didn't realise I didn't have Roxy a link on, which I completely forgot, so I put Roxy a link on Lance to make the most out of his damage. My Lance is sadly 1-6, but it will do. And here we go. Now we're just going to auto, and then the game plays itself. Which is fine. We only got one debuff skill as well. Well, Megumin's Explosion AoE is a debuff, but doesn't really count like that. But we only got one debuff skill, so it won't always prioritise. And it's Masno's debuff skill, which is actually a really good debuff skill. Okay, the game's gonna... Yep. Megumin's actually got her ultimate already, which I don't think is really that good of a thing. She's gonna immediately disable herself. Maybe not, because she didn't actually get to play a skill. No, Masno got ult instead, which I heavily prefer. Masno has carried this team so far. He's got every single bit of damage. There we go. Masno's ultimate. Replenishes the shield, which is really broken. Lance's AoE. Didn't kill solely because he had no stacks, which is fair enough. And Char's now finally maxed out her stacks as well. Megumin's got her ultimate. Okay, Masno, can you do damage cap? Of course you can. Megumin? She does. She doesn't crit, but she lands the kill, which is as important. Not bad, honestly. Not bad. And now we'll go on to floor 2. Here we go, on to floor 2, which is also quite easy. It's only the second phase could we have a slight problem, but I highly doubt this team won't be able to do damage cap twice. This team should be able to do damage cap twice with ease. It's just more or less Lance's AoE and Megumin's AoE I'm more scared of. Just gonna absolutely nuke it again. It's actually quite good that we're playing single targets. Although that we've actually got a lot of single targets. That is for Charles passive, which of course gives us 7% basic stats because I am 6-6. Per fragment she gets up to 3 times. If you're 1-6 it's 5%. I believe if you're like 3-6 and 3 and 4-6 it's like 6%. So you're not missing out on too much anyway if you are low ult level. Yeah, we're completely fine here. Masno's always going to be doing damage cap. Lance did damage cap, and then Megumin kills it. She does have her ultimate now, which is gonna... No, she doesn't. Okay, I thought she had her ultimate. That is fine. Thankfully, because she's on the far left of the team, she sort of has a lower chance of getting her ultimate really quick. Compared to someone like Masno, who's immediately going to have like 2 of his skills played, and then if he pulls like a level 2 or another debuff skill, it's going to be prioritized again, which is pretty cool. This team's really good. We hit like damage cap with every skill. We only missed 1 damage cap, and that was with Lance, because he had no stacks with his AoE skill. We will be able to see Megumin's ult now. Thankfully the game doesn't play any other skills for her. There we go. And then we kill. We've hit damage cap every time but once so far. This is a really fast team. Like, crazy fast team. And now on to floor 3. Here we are on to floor 3. This must be the fastest auto team in the game. This is extremely quick. Of course you could like say Scold, but the AI does not know what the counter is. It will not, refuse to play it. But this team is really quick, which is really nice to see. I wasn't sure like who really to put on this team because I wanted to go full DPS, but I needed some form of support, which is why I just picked Char. I picked Masno because it's Masno, for goodness sake. His damage is just absolutely phenomenal, as you just saw. Char's really good because when she gets ramped up, she can just vaporize everything super easily. Lance is good because you get the defense-related stat boost, as well as he can put out good damage. It may take a few turns, but he can put out some really good damage. Megumin is going to be disabled, which is not going to be good. She can disable herself next phase, unless... No, she will. Damage cap, nice. If she didn't have the, like, drain effect after her ultimate, she would actually be really good for this, but of course with that they'd probably actually have to tone down her ultimate a little bit, which is not the best. But yeah, this team's doing pretty well at the moment. She's going to be... There you go, drained. Not bad, she had damage cap though. And she is playing a skill, which means I do believe she should get 2 gauge for that. 2 gauge? Only get 1, okay, because it's move skill, so that's not the best, but it's fine. Everyone else in this team can definitely pick up the slack, because everyone on this team is quite impeccable DPS. So there we go. This is revive, so... Thank you, Mazno. I'm always scared that skill's not going to damage cap, because it hits so many times. Sometimes it doesn't look like it will. We actually land the kill in 1 turn. That's actually really good RNG. But as you can see, that team was extremely quick. My current recording time is just over 6 minutes, which is crazy. Bear in mind, this is also with an intro as well. And I got actually really good luck. I don't need any of this, but I'll take it, because upgrading relics to bird is a little bit expensive. And now on to the goddess team. Okay, here we are on to our second team, which is once again another full DPS goddess team. If I had Green Tristan, I'd run Green Tristan, but I don't have Green Tristan, so I'll not be running him. So we have LR Margaret with attack crit, we have Mael with attack crit, and we have Melee Liz with attack crit, and we have Aqua with HP defense. Sadly, that's just how it's going to be, but that's fine. For the card set, we are still running the same card set, so we get a lovely 15% attack related stat boost, which will help out this team quite a bit. And yeah, let's get on with it. Here we go on to floor 1. This team probably won't be as quick as the other team, because once again, Melee Liz have a talent, so they're going to be popping that every X amount of turns. And, you know, we've got 2 skills that don't actually deal any damage. One being Aqua's Cleanse, and one being Margaret's Cleanse as well. But we have 2 debuff skills, which means it will prioritize them in that order. There we go. It always prioritizes Freeze, or Freeze, Petrify, or Stun at the end. Maybe just Freeze and Petrify at the end. Damage isn't bad though so far. Got another 2 set of debuffs, which is fine. Like, getting rid of the debuff skills, it's actually quite good. Margaret's damage is quite nice. Of course, she's running attack crit, so you would sort of expect some quite decent damage there. Yeah, Mael is doing Mael's damage, which is nice to see. There we go. I think the only problem will probably be floor 3, where we're going to start maybe yeah, maybe we won't be able to deal enough damage, but that is fine because we've got a cleanse character and a healing character, which means we can sort of keep alive. Melee have the passive heal. Their damage is still quite good even without the buff. Mael's damage is quite good without the buff. Even Aqua's damage is actually quite decent. There we go. Got 2 powerful ultimates here, and that should be it. Not too bad, pretty easy. Sort of what I'd expect from these teams. There we go. Mael's ult does a lot of damage. Margaret's ult may not actually kill. No, will, because the 50% damage increase, I forgot that debuff actually applies. That was really quick. And now on to floor 2. Here we are, now on to floor 2, which should... it probably will be easy. This is, once again, second phase. It's the only thing you can get slightly screwed on. But, once again, this team's got so much DPS, I don't think I'm really going to have a problem. It's going to play the same thing every time at the start. So it'll start with Melee Liz shield, then I'll go with Margaret AoE, Melee Liz AoE, Melee Liz single target, and then the freeze with Aqua, because it counts as a freeze skill. Good damage. I do like it is freeze at level 1, because it feels a lot more impactful, and it can actually do quite good damage as well, because it's got a damage multiplier on top of it, which is not something you really see very often. This is the phase that we could get slightly screwed on. And sadly, because we got the passive, that means we get debuffed every turn. And now we're basically going to waste a skill every turn. But it'll only be for this phase, because how they've changed Bird, that the... Oh, okay, we're actually going to take a lot of damage here as well. We still should survive. So yeah, this is basically the worst case scenario. Because we don't have a taunt up, he's now going to hit us with, like, an atomic bomb's worth of damage. Still should be okay, though. This is the skill here. It, like, disables, like, so much. Okay, it doesn't do anywhere near the damage. Maybe they completely nerfed the damage. It doesn't actually... Does it just heal it? Have they changed it? That move used to, like, Shadow Realm you. Maybe they did change it. It doesn't matter, it's dead now anyway. But yeah, that skill used to be the only scary skill, but I think they've just heavily crippled it. Like, if you didn't have a taunt up, you would basically die. But now that's not a problem anymore. I guess that does make getting to floor 4 easier, but the damage cap's also 50% now, so you can kill it in 3 skills pretty easily. Metal shield again, because it's that time. The cleanse skill. There we go. Margaret does really good damage, and she can finish off with her AoE. It seems not bad. It does have a lot of cleanse and stuff like that, so probably in the long run it will be a slightly slower team, but it's still a very quick auto team. Okay, this is the true test of her ultimate. On the low side. How about a single target? Not bad. That's not bad. For a support character with a free skill, it's not bad damage. And of course, she's actually got my favourite win screen in this entire collab. It just suits her character so well. And now on to floor 3. Here we are on to floor 3, which should hopefully still be quite easy. Even though we don't actually have that debuff anymore, the passive will be constantly keep getting debuffed at the start of our turn. But it still should be significantly easier, and maybe even be slightly quicker now. Now we don't have to deal with that effect. Because now the game will only use the skills if we get debuffed, but also it'll use the cleanse skill if we get low health. Don't know what it considers low health though. Metal is maybe able to heavy carry us on this phase. Yeah, this phase has a 100% damage lower for level 1s, so I don't judge any damage on the first phase. Go, it's going to prioritize debuff skill, then double my L. Yeah, triple my L actually. Not bad. My fear is that our hand's going to get clogged with the Margaret skill, the Margaret cleanse and the Aqua healed skill. I feel like those two skills are going to be like, yeah, like that. That's exactly what I was not hoping for. The game will play one of them though. It has no choice now, which picks the buff skill, which is fine. I don't think we can kill it this phase immediately, which is fine. No problems there. It does immediately disable stances, so we have no stances, so it's not a problem. Yeah, the human team is definitely probably going to be the faster team, but this team isn't also too bad. This team's also got less collaboration characters on it as well, means it's more, I guess, makeable for most players who maybe have not been playing as long, to have Char, who came out a couple months ago, which Mael hasn't returned, so if you don't have Mael, you probably don't have Char. Well, sorry, other way around. If you don't have Char, you probably don't have Mael. But anyway, this team should absolutely nuke it now. We've got the cleanse, which isn't really necessary. The reason why it's cleansing is because it believes the debuff on it is red, which it isn't. So it's probably going to cleanse again now, because it thinks the debuff is still a red debuff. In which I was correct. The game still assumes it's a red debuff, so it buffs up, which is actually completely fine. It's a damage boost for the team. I don't think we can kill now, because I'm pretty sure damage cap. No, we can. It's 35%, so if Aqua lifts her weight here, we might be able to do it. She does. That was probably very close, but she did it. So honestly, it's another really good auto team. But I still feel like that human team would be better, but once again, it's got a lot of collaboration characters on it. So if you're looking for a team that's got less collaboration characters on it, this is definitely the one to go. Of course, like LR Margaret, who's been out for a long time, Meta Liz, who have been out since January this year, and Mael, who came out about February this year as well, and of course Aqua, who is currently releasing. So yeah, not a bad team. Highly recommend either of these teams. Of course, if you want a faster team and you have all the characters, the human team is going to be a million times better. But anyway, that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.